This is Andi Purewal, Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm delighted joined by $1 Million Crolla, Anthony Crolla here in Bolton. Anthony, first and foremost, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, thank you, mate. Good to be in the gym with the lads alongside Joe. And been down here a few times a week. For the last few weeks, really enjoying being in here with them, obviously learning alongside Joe, and working with some really talented fighters. So yeah, I think that I've got a few lads of my own. I think it only helps me from a coaching point of view, sort of to improve being around these lads, sort of, so then I can take it back to the lads who I'm working with in my gym.
What's it like coming into the gym now, training with the guys who you actually used to, be preparing for fights at the same time with?
It's not much different, to be honest. It's not much different. I've probably got a bit more energy, or I don't know. It's obviously I'm not working as hard, but still, it doesn't feel any different, really. So it's just great to be alongside them and just the usual banter and stuff like that. But no, it doesn't feel any different coming in here, sort of helping Joe out as what it did as a fighter, other than the hard work.
Working with the guys now and Tasha,
Yeah.
what's the differences with regards to how you look at them? Can you see an even bigger work ethic than that maybe you may not have seen before when you're focusing on yourself a bit more?
I'd say it like, when you're a fighter, you're the soul. Do you know what I mean? You're the main focus. You don't keep looking over the garden fence seeing who's working hard and who's not. But when you're partnered up with certain fighters that, it's going to be harder with him, or it's going to be a little bit easier with him, or I'm going to do so a little bit. But then obviously from a coach's point of view, you see it a little bit more firsthand. So it's not too much sort of, you have in your head sort of things what they might do or stuff like that. But I've always passed up in the corner to Joe, so I'd listen to Joe and see what they do wrong, what they do right, and I try and remember that whenever I'm doing little bits with them.
You got a favourite fighter you like to train?
I better not say that. No, at the minute, genuinely, I've really not. I mean, it's mad. Considering Joe's fighters all fight the same. I don't find it that way. I think that with Ofer, sort of, I think what it is, they're working towards different opponents. So with Ofer, Joe attempts to do something different than what I'd do with Paul Butler or Liam or Callum. It's but they're all very different, and you got to remember, for someone who's, and this isn't in any way of disrespect to my lads as well, but I'm sort of helping out with a lot more experienced lads here. So like I said, I'm learning from them, learning from Joe, and hopefully that'll only benefit me as a coach and my fighters.
Obviously, let's get into it now. Let's go start working our way through the camp. I've mentioned to everybody Scott Quigg coming back. What's it been like seeing Scott back?
It's good. It's always, I've always stayed in touch with Scott. He's one of the hardest workers you'd ever see. The hardest worker, trains so hard, and just, consummate professional. It's great to have him back in. He's got a tough fight in March against John O'Carroll. He's a good fighter. He's, very confident for it. And I think, we struggle to see how that fight doesn't gel to make a very good fight on the night. And, Scott's got to be at his very best. Scott's got to be at his very best that night. I believe he will do. But, like I say, John O'Carroll's a very good fighter. A lot of respect for him. And he's confident, I know he come up, after the Tevin Farm, he's gone over there sparring him. He feels like he's picked up a lot out there. So he looked like, he'll change his game a little bit. And but I think, like I said, it's a quality fight between, the winner goes on, looks to fight for a world title again. For the loser, it's much harder. We'll see, I think both lads see it as a must-win fight. I don't really like saying that because it's a quality matchup. So I don't like saying that. But it is like, I think, for world title aspirations, that you want to be winning world titles again. You got to be winning this, and it's a great fight.
Since Scott's come back, what's he kind of said is their plan and his goal now that he's back in the final chapter of his career, as it were? What's he kind of looking to achieve?
Scott's looking to become a world champion again, and I don't think he'd be in the sport if he didn't believe he could. that's how he is. He's looking to improve all the time still, and like I say, it's good to have him back here. And I believe on March the 7th, I believe he is victorious. But like I say, he knows he's got to be at the top of his game.
Obviously, Liam Smith as well, as I spoke to everybody. We saw him on Saturday at the Kell Brook fight. A potential bout there between Liam and Kell. What are your thoughts on it if it was to be made?
It's a fantastic fight between two of the best in Britain, and I think if you're going to make a domestic clash, I don't think there's many I put ahead of that. It's I thought Kell looked really well on Saturday night. I think the opponent. Don't get me wrong, Kell was a level or two above him, or a few levels above him, but he still looked very good. But he was a very tough opponent though as well, and took some big shots. Liam, I think Liam's in great form, and I think style gel again to make a fantastic fight. I know they sparred, and the sparring was, I think Kell said it in the ring, if that's anything to go by, fans will be in for a treat if the fight gets made.
Obviously, Liam's brother Callum is waiting for an update as to what's next for him. I've said Canelo, Billy Joe Saunders all being mentioned amongst others. Do you think it's realistic we will see Callum face Canelo next, or?
I think he's got a good as chance of anyone. When you look at who's in line, either Callum or Billy Joe, you think that one of them looks likely to get it. Now Murata, well, I don't know if he is in the running still or not, but I think both of those fighters have got, both Callum and Billy Joe have got a great claim to it, and I think they both, I don't want to say deserve it because they're both world champions. Listen, there's no doubting Canelo's the superstar of boxing, so I don't like saying deserve it, but if I think on the world scene, if the Golovkin's fight's not happening next, then I think fans would like to see either Callum or Billy Joe.
I know obviously you only recently retired from fighting yourself, but how do you kind of help Callum with regards to just dealing with this situation, knowing that Canelo holds all the cards and it's down to him as to who he picks and how it plays out?
And that's the good thing about Callum Smith. He's, he's a realist where he's sort of said, I'd love the fight, but I think the good thing is Callum's not going to get into the situation where he's relying on that fight. And all right, if it doesn't happen, there's plenty of other big fights out there. And I mentioned them. Two of them to you, but he doesn't just he can't make a career of or hang around in his career trying to get that Canelo fight. If he gets it, fantastic, it's the biggest fight out there, and that's all there is really to it. And Callum's got a great sort of attitude where if the fight does get made, he won't be starstruck, he won't be in awe or anything like that. And like I say, for me, that's the fight I really want to see.
Obviously, Sam Hyde back in camp as well now. How's Sam been looking on the back of his defeat to Dion Juma?
He's just got back in, and it's good. It's good that he is back in. And I spoke to Sam a few days after the fight, and obviously I was gutted on the Sunday. And every credit to Dion Juma. I thought he'd done very well, and you know what else? I thought he's shown great character because he had a few tough moments in that fight, and he come through them. And now I think he'll fight Riakpo, won't he? And that's interesting. I think Sam's thereabouts. Do you know what I mean? If he wouldn't have fell asleep for a few rounds, we might be talking totally different about Sam and Riakpo doing it again. But I think Sam has improved so much, and it's now, I was sort of saying it to him, you can't let that go to waste, but then at the same time, there's probably not too many favours going to get done for him because, and similar to Dion Juma, no one really wanted to fight any of them. So they ended up fighting each other in an eliminator. And I think, we might even have to go in there, even if it's on the away side in a tough fight. But it's a fight, the fights that I think, he's very capable. He just come up short against Dion in a fantastic fight. But I think Sam gets back in the gym, improves the way he does. His time will come, I really believe that.
How do you think about between Dion Juma and Richard Riakpo would play out?
It's interesting. I was ringside. I was actually sat next to Billy Joe ringside when Riakpo fought Jack Massa, and there's another good name, it's Jack, Chris Smith. It's a great little division domestically. And one thing, early on especially, I thought Riakpo, boxing ability had improved, but he must be very, very heavy-handed, very heavy-handed. But I don't know, I just think Dion might be a little bit too slick. He's slick, and I mean, listen, I think if he lands clean, he can put anyone in that cruiserweight division out, Riakpo. But what impressed me was Sam, like I say, he's shown a set. He really did. You know, he got it down. You know, when things looked, it might not go my way. He's shown a lot of character to come through it. I know Riakpo's out now with bad hands at the minute after the last fight, but that's another fantastic fight. I lean towards Dion.
I mean, obviously, just before I do let you shoot off, just quickly get your thoughts. Wilder Fury 2 next weekend, Anthony. Just break it down for me. How do you see it going?
I think, you know, after the first fight, it's hard not to make Tyson a favourite. There's no denying he won that fight. I know it was a draw, but there's no denying who won that fight. But as you probably heard or you hear from everyone you ask, the power that Wilder carries is frightening. It's frightening. He's a huge puncher. I mean, you see it. Talked about a lot lately. He's one of the biggest punchers the heavyweight division has seen, not just in recent years. You know, really, one punch knockout artist. But I wouldn't be surprised if Tyson touches down again early on, and I think that could be a good thing because it'll make him cautious and move. But I think Tyson wins on points. I think he wins on points, pretty wide, but he can't switch off for 1 second of a minute of a round. It's I think he's got to be smart. I know there's talk about, I just hope that people are saying, I saw someone saying, like, you know, at the Kronk, whether he's, you know, tall, gangly fight, whether he's trying to turn him into a puncher. You know, I really hope that's not the case. But I can't see that. I think Andy Lee's a very clever man, and he's in the camp and someone who I really sort of respects his boxing opinion. And I think anyone who knows boxing knows the way for Tyson to beat Wilder is to do what he done in the first fight and outbox him. But he's got to stay switched on.
And finally, Ant, Valentine's Day on Friday.
Valentine's Day Friday.
What does $1 Million Crolla get up to?
He goes to the gym. I'm here with the lads, and then I'm in the gym with my own lads in the afternoon, and then also in the gym with the amateurs at the night. So yeah, as about as romantic as it gets, to be honest with me.
So lucky Mrs. Vera.
Yep, very lucky.
And as always, it's been a pleasure to catch up with you. I will let you shoot off now, and thanks, Beats Boxing Social.
Thank you very much.
Cheers,